All right, let's just dive right in. We all tend to think that we're the ones using language, right? That it's just a tool we pick up, get our ideas out there, and then we put it down. But what if that's complete bullshit? What if, and stick with me here, what if language is actually using us to build the very reality we see around us? It's time to pull back the curtain and see who's really pulling the strings.
So, let me kick things off with a question that might just fuck with your head a little tonight. Are your thoughts really your own? Are you just thinking the thoughts that your language allows you to think? Yeah, that's the central puzzle we're going to try and piece together here.
Now, to understand just how deep this rabbit hole goes, we gotta start at the surface. Let's begin with the simple, almost childish view of language that we all learned growing up.
At its most basic, language is just a social contract. It's a set of rules we all kind of nod our heads to. We agree that this sound means that thing. It's the invisible glue holding society together, the thread that connects my mind directly to yours.
The common sense take is that words are just labels. You know, the word tree points to that big green thing outside. Seems pretty damn straightforward. Language is like a mirror, just reflecting the world back at us. But what if that mirror is warped? What if it's hiding more than it's showing?
Yeah, that simple, perfect mirror we imagine language to be? It's not just cracked. It might be a complete fucking funhouse distortion. The tool we thought was so perfect, it's got some serious flaws.
And boom, right there. The philosopher Bertrand Russell just nails the problem. He points out that everything our senses pick up, and by extension the words we use to describe it all, is only capturing the appearance of things. We trust what we see is what's really there, but our language is always one step removed from the real thing.
So we have this massive gap. There's the world as it appears to us, which is the only thing our words can ever really describe. And then there's the world as it actually is, totally separate from us. And it's in this gap, this chasm between our words and the world, that all the shady shit begins.
This right here is the perfect example. Think about it. The word dog doesn't bark, it doesn't have fur, it doesn't wag its tail. It has no actual dog-ness to it. It's just a totally random sound we all agreed to use for that furry thing that chases sticks. The connection isn't real, it's a human invention. And this is where the story takes a much darker turn. Because if the link between words and reality is fragile, if it's just something we made up, well, it can be broken. It can be manipulated. It can be weaponized for control.
And here's exactly how they do it. This is the goddamn playbook. Framing an issue with loaded words to make you feel a certain way before you even have a chance to think. Propaganda that just hammers you with emotional bullshit to shut down your brain. Euphemisms to hide ugly, fucked up truths. And stereotypes that use lazy, damaging labels to justify hate.
I mean, come on. This is a chillingly perfect example. Collateral damage. It sounds sterile, bureaucratic, like some spreadsheet error. It's designed, on purpose, to hide the horrific reality of civilian casualties, of dead people. This isn't an accident. It's a strategic use of language to manage how you feel about something awful. And it's a system, you see? First, you cherry-pick only the facts that help your cause. Then you soak them in emotional language to get people riled up, scared, or angry. And finally, you just repeat the message over and over and over again until it just seeps into people's brains and feels like the truth.
But this linguistic control, it goes even deeper. It doesn't just mess with our opinions. It can fundamentally change our ideas about what's true, what we can even know, and what it means to be wise.
You know, think about the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Language is pretty good at giving you knowledge, a bunch of facts. But wisdom? That's about judgment, context, morality, and that's way harder to capture with words. You can have all the fucking knowledge in the world and still be a complete idiot.
This whole thing has sparked a huge fight among philosophers. Think of it like this. Team A believes our everyday language, with all its messy flaws, actually holds some kind of secret wisdom if you just look at it hard enough. Team B thinks our language is a piece of shit that just creates confusion, and that we need to invent a brand new, perfectly logical language to even have a chance at talking about reality.
So, if language can be fucked with, and if it's not even that good at describing reality in the first place, what the hell does that mean for you, for the world that you, personally, live in every single day? Well, this brings us to the final and most unsettling part of this whole mess.
This is from the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein, and it might be one of the most important things ever said on this topic. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. The limits of your language are the limits of your world.
So here's the fucking punchline. Your entire reality is being filtered through the vocabulary and grammar that you happen to know. If you don't have a word for something, it is incredibly difficult to even think about it clearly, which means the language you speak is both a key unlocking the world and a cage defining the absolute boundaries of that world.
And that leaves us with one final haunting question. If your language is the literal blueprint for your reality, defining everything you can see, think, and believe, who the fuck handed you those blueprints?